the tea don't stop. She don't miss nothing, got the scoop on lock. Spilling all the tea while it's still too hot. Lakeysha Keysha, queen of the plot. Hit that bell cause the tea don't stop. Hit that bell cause the tea don't stop. She don't miss nothing, got the scoop on lock. Spilling all the tea while it's still too hot. Lakeysha Keysha, queen of the plot. Hit that bell cause the tea don't stop. She don't miss nothing, got the scoop on lock. Spilling all the tea while it's still too hot. Lakeysha Keysha, queen of the plot. Hit that bell cause the tea don't stop. She don't miss nothing, got the scoop on lock. Spilling all the tea while it's still too hot. Lakeysha Keysha, queen of the plot.
Hey guys, we're gonna jump into this video, honey, because it is juicy. And I was like, let me get this out to y'all. Now, if y'all have not been watching the Basketball Wives, you really ain't missed much. But what has been going on is pretty much the same old stuff. Jennifer and Evelyn. But baby, if y'all been watching Basketball Wives for any amount of time, y'all know that Jennifer, it seemed like, is always constantly bullied and attacked. It's gross. It's kind of like, you know, everybody just go to pick on Jennifer, but Jennifer is tired at this point. And what I want to do is I'm going to play y'all the audio just in case you have not been following Basketball Wives, because what ended up happening is of course, Evelyn is dragging Jennifer about Jennifer's husband being a felon and, allegedly stealing people money, yada, yada, yada. Okay. So that's what they're talking about. I did a video yesterday and we kind of walked through, some of the things that was going on, with Christian. But let's get into this audio because baby, word on I don't even know if I want to say word on the street. Jennifer has allegedly exposed to Christian's aunt, I want to say, that Evelyn and her daughter done slept with the game. Y'all, we got to get into it. So let's get into this audio. Just give me a moment. I had to turn it up.
First of all, how's it talking about your daughter? I said about you brought my daughter up, baby. You brought my daughter up. The point is people are felons. It happens. Why I keep bringing it up? But the difference is that your felon is currently stealing money from people today, tomorrow, yesterday.
Whatever you say.
I think that my event was just going a little too well. And if you know Jackie Christie, you know she just lives to instigate. If it's going too well, let me throw a little sauce on it and see what happens. There's no way that this can end peacefully.
This is your third scammer. Your opinion on me
Don't hold no weight. Like,
yours does.
Jennifer is once again weaponizing my child and the father of her child against me. She's just trying to deflect. And at the end of the day, I was coming from a good place because I love you and I care about your stupid ass, but it's all good. One thing for sure and two things is for certain. We cannot bring up nobody's kids in this situation. Whether they're
and
grown
see, y'all, in
or
that particular statement, I'm going to disagree because Evelyn's daughter is an adult. And if you keep poking the bear, I mean, Jennifer going to have to say something at some point. So Jennifer knows Evelyn's secrets, and baby, she's exposing them. Now, we knew Evelyn was a little nasty, a little freaky. You know, she gets around, she wants the men with the money. But I just don't understand how in the hell the game came up. But it don't matter. I'm not trying to figure it out. At this point, I'm just going over what has already been exposed. Now, keep in mind, we know that Evelyn and Jennifer, they were friends for a very long time. And y'all know what comes with friendship. You get to find out people's stuff. You get to find out stuff about them. And if y'all recall, we know Jennifer has some juicy information on Evelyn's daughter and, you know, some of her extra activities. And I want to get into this clip because, you know, people have stated for a very long time that, you know, Evelyn, did you teach your daughter to be a hoe? You know, that's just what people were saying. You know, I don't know. Did she teach the girl to be a hoe? But word on the street is that's what people were saying. But let's get into it. Let's get into it. And let's get into this clip right here.
People get wrong about our relationship?
I don't know, because I feel like you make it very clear.
You are mama bear.
Oh, I know what people get wrong.
What?
You've kind of like groomed me.
Okay, so they're making a joke about it, but in fact, that's what people say that, yeah, Evelyn showed her daughter how to be a hoe. Now, you know what that entails. I don't know, maybe a little hoe university. I don't know. But baby, listen, we're gonna get into this because Jennifer had to tell this woman the business because the woman is spilling everything and she is telling Evelyn, girl, if you don't sit down and you keep coming for Jennifer and Christian, I'm going to keep singing. So maybe Evelyn is going to stop because, baby, I don't think she wanted this out there. Now, you know, it ain't too far-fetched for me because, you know, what they said about Evelyn, honey, is, you know, she get down. Now, if you guys recall, I don't know how long you've been following me, but I did a video so many moons ago, last year or something, I don't know, where we talked about Evelyn's daughter even having a baby by game because Evelyn was friends with the game's fiance. You know what I mean? So it was kind of odd that Evelyn's daughter would have at some point been around her friend and maybe even around the game when she was younger, teenager. I don't know. Maybe she was a young adult. So how did she end up liking and sleeping and having a baby by her friend's ex-fiance? Because the game was actually engaged to Tiffany. So everybody was like, that is so weird. Like, how did Evelyn's daughter get with him? Now, I know Evelyn is not in charge of her daughter, but let me tell you something. You know, people, when they get grown, they can sneak out and do whatever they want, or they can just do it. If it were me and my daughter, I'd be like, girl, look, what are you doing? So it just seems like Evelyn's daughter and her standards, they don't go together. But then, you know, from what everybody been saying, her mama's standards don't go together. But y'all, we got to get into this tea because when I saw this, I wanted to get up out my bed last night. And I was like, I'm just going to do it, you know, in the morning because it was all over social media. I mean, I'm like, what in the world? But we're going to get into it, y'all. So give me a second here. Let me share. And then actually, I'm going to mute it first because I want to bring some detail to something that y'all may not notice. So let me mute it first, and then I'm going to share my screen. And I believe this is Christian's aunt. Okay, this is Christian's aunt, and I'm going to take it off mute in a second. But she is reading Evelyn for filth. Now, what I noticed is she's actually using Christian's phone. So she's using Christian's phone because if you look down at the bottom, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it says $0 or whatever, which I learned is his actual Instagram handle. But let's kind of get into what she has to say, honey, about Evelyn. Like when I tell you she drags Evelyn, talks about her and her daughter sleeping with the same man, talks about Evelyn's daughter not having any place to live to the point that she living with Evelyn. And I'm like, wait a minute, y'all, let's get into it because this is crazy.
and Shawnee and your daughter is all there while you was pregnant. But then your daughter go and fuck the same dude you didn't fuck who y'all friends. Like he done ran a train on y'all at this point. You know, I'm just saying, like, you know, don't your baby daddy owe people's money, drown in his goddamn pool. He got sued for that. It's a lot of topics that we can talk about. Bitch, Evelyn, you was pregnant with Carl's child at the same time his own daughter was just 5 months old. Bitch, do the math. Talk about that. He was with his ex while you was pregnant. Talk about that. There's so much other shit that you could be talking about. Jenn, Christian and this girl was broken up before he even got with Jenn. But you around here fucking a nigga who got a wife. And his child 5 months, and his child 5 months, you 6 months pregnant. Bitch, can you add? But that's just who you are. You talk about every guy, you talk about everything. But let me tell you something, bitch. You go low, I'm going straight to hell. I can give a fuck. Okay? Why don't you talk about what's going on in your house? Like, your baby daddy, go pay his artist. He owe his artist. Don't he his failed record company? Like, dude, don't you owe Meg? Don't you owe these people? Go pay these people. Won't she worry about that? Like, your daughter is living in the house with you. Y'all don't get no financial support because all his checks going to BMI. Why don't you talk about these kind of things? Like, I don't know. You're so invested in what Jenn and Christian got going on, but you don't want to talk about the things that's going on in your household.
You don't want nobody else to talk about the things.
Yeah. You say I shouldn't talk about your daughter. The game has fucked you and your daughter. Okay, they got pictures where you and Tiffany and Shawnee and your daughter is all there while you was pregnant. But then your daughter go and fuck the same dude you didn't fuck who y'all friends. Like he done ran a train on y'all at this point. You know, I'm just saying, like, you know, don't your baby daddy owe people's money, drown in his goddamn pool. He got sued for that. It's a lot of topics that we can talk about. Bitch, Evelyn, you was pregnant with Carl's child at the same time his own daughter was just 5 months old. Bitch, do the math. Talk about that. He was with his ex while you was pregnant. Talk about that. There's so much other shit that you could be talking about. Jenn, Christian and this girl was broken up before he even got with Jenn. But you around here fucking a nigga who got a wife. And his child 5 months, and his child 5 months.
Okay, so she is actually at Jenn and Christian's house. You can see, you know, Jenn walking in the background. You can kind of hear Christian voice. So she's gotten this information from Jenn, and Jenn is sick and tired of Evelyn, you know, talking about her business. Y'all, the woman said her and her daughter, y'all heard her, this man, I mean, I don't know. I never thought that Jenn was a liar, and Jenn is mad. Jenn is exposing that they both blocked on the same thing. I'm not really surprised because, like I said, why would you let your daughter, now I know you don't have any control over her, but it seems like she got that behavior from you. Out of all the men in the universe, she chose the game. That's weird, okay? Now, what she's talking about is she's like, now, if y'all remember, because I'm going to have to go dig that up too. I know it's buried somewhere, but we're going to dig it up. Evelyn's, what was that girl's name? I can't remember her name. It's going to come back to me later. But she came on Basketball Wives and she kept saying Evelyn was messing with Carl when he was in a relationship or married to somebody else. She kept saying it. I cannot think of her name, but Evelyn kept attacking that girl. Now it's really being revealed and exposed that Evelyn was in fact pregnant by a man who just had a baby. So he had just had a baby. And the lady kept saying that Evelyn knew exactly what she was doing. I cannot think of her name. If y'all know it, just put it in the chat. But now it is being exposed and it comes out to be absolutely true. When Evelyn got with Carl Crawford, she knew that he had a wife or he was in this relationship. I can't remember the lady's name, y'all. We'll talk about it later. Make sure y'all join my live at 6:45 p.m. I got some receipts on the child support and everything with regards to, if y'all watched my video yesterday, we talked about Christian owing the child support, and I got so much information on that. A lot of information in it, and it's contradictory to a lot of stuff that's been put out there. We got to go get the facts, y'all. Sometimes we can't believe everything what everybody say. We'll talk about that later. So we know now that Evelyn, well, we've been knew Evelyn was, a hoe. Like, we ain't finna sit up here and act like that. So Evelyn went there and got with a man that she knew had a damn wife and was in a committed relationship. Are y'all surprised? But baby, we got to get back into it because, like I said, the child support, there's a lot of information that I found on that. And like I said, it's not what is being said. It is a child support case, but we'll get into it later. But Christian actually, let me get into actually, since we're talking about Evelyn, let's get into what Christian actually said about Evelyn, because they just getting tired of Evelyn at this point. They are getting tired of her. And Christian actually, he has some shit to say about Evelyn too. He like, look, stop trying to use us for a storyline. And I thought this was very interesting because, as I told y'all, I think that's Christian's aunt, and I don't know who that guy is. They're actually at their place, and you can kind of see it here. So give me a second here.
And Evelyn, if you're looking for another storyline for next season, look elsewhere, please. Now I'm talking to you because since you don't want to see me face to face, now I'm talking to you. So I don't give a fuck about what the network say.
Oh, she's gonna go run to the network.
Go ahead and go to the suits. Go ahead and develop. You're developing another storyline because this season, and I'm not going to spill what goes on for the rest of the show because that's for you to find out. But for what's going on for the first 3 episodes, it's been Christian and Jennifer, Christian and Jennifer, Christian and Jennifer. What about your own life? She ain't got nothing going on. And Evelyn, if you're looking for another storyline for next season, I can tell you, I don't give a damn how many producers, executives are on this fucking live. How many times have y'all called me and I'm like, yo, I'm not filming? Because I don't do all that bullshit. All that shit is all that salacious shit that y'all want to put out on it and to chastise a black man and make me look like a villain. I never wanted to do it. But I did it because my wife is really the one with the storyline. When we're talking about her and this Evelyn, she's the one with the real storyline. So of course I'm going to show up and I'm looking at things for the future and I'm saying, okay, what is the next step for my wife to get off of Basketball Wives for us to go into something different? Maybe like get our own. I can tell you, I don't give a damn how many producers.
Okay, guys. So what Christian is pretty much saying is Evelyn will not face him face to face. So it looks like the network has tried to get him and Evelyn to maybe have a sit down. She doesn't want to, which is a clear indication, that she got to know that she's making up some of these lies and that it's not true. Because whenever you are so heavily involved with somebody and what it is that they're doing, but then if they try to, have a sit down with you, you don't want to have a sit down. My dog literally just jumped in back of my chair. Y'all see her? Look. Say hi, Coco. Coco, say hi, boo. Say hi. Look. Say hi, mama. I'm not trying to kiss you. But anyways, so y'all get it. Y'all, this is finna be juicy. And like I said, I got more receipts. But, since I'm just giving y'all like an introductory, honey, because I got so much more information, let's kind of get into a little bit more, just a little bit. Now, you can't be doing all that now because I'm going to have to kick you out. Let's get into just a little bit more.
Anything for a storyline. I get it. We get it. We understand. Anything for a storyline. They're talking about their castmate. I don't even like saying her name no more because I don't even want that energy in the house.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's like I'm definitely not wasting no breath talking about her because she's just gonna be who she is, and let's let her be who she is.
When we got married, things took a turn with not just the mother of my kids, but with other people, which you guys can see clearly online. Because the person
you can see every Monday night at 8 o'clock on VH1.
The castmate we're referring to was actually crying and fanning herself out, which I also have a video of at the engagement. But right after engagement, it's everybody hates Christian. I don't give a damn if you hate me or not. I'm not here to impress you. I'm not here to impress 55,000 followers on social media. I'm here to put every post I put out, I do it for myself. I don't do it for you. You see my bio, ain't no filter here. It ain't no filter here. I don't give a f you say about me. I don't give a f you think. Hence, 0 f I don't care.
I mean, what? It's at a certain point, you do have to defend yourself. It's like, you take the high road and you're like, all right, let them have it. Social media was the worst thing that could have been done for some of y'all. And also microphones, because all of y'all don't deserve to have a damn podcast over there talking about a bunch of nonsense. Like, microphones were the worst thing that Amazon could have started selling to some of y'all. But at some point, you do have to say, you know what? I know this light is like shining so bright. You do have to say, I'm going to defend, because you can't just let people just keep saying anything. And it's good to take the high road, but with this situation, I support you doing this, because it's like enough is enough.
And Evelyn, if you're looking for another storyline for next season, look elsewhere, please. So there is currently no child support order. There's no child support order. I've been waiting on a child support order so we can continue to do things as the court puts in place. Because once the court puts it in place, neither one of us wants to back out of that, because there then becomes legal consequences, right? Neither one of us want that. Damn sure not me, because I've dealt with enough legal consequences in my past. Also, it was posted on the blogs by Evelyn that I skipped court twice. I've been to court multiple times in regarding child support, right? I've been to court, right? I also went to court for abandonment charge because she claimed that there was abandonment, okay? You cannot get locked up for abandonment if there's no child support order. So in 2020, my children's mother, my daughter and my son, we start dating. More so toward the end of 2019, right before the pandemic, we started dating. Things were good, of course. Things are always good at first in most relationships. Sometimes they don't stay that way, and I'm not saying everything should be perfect, but things were great. And of course, the relationship, it took its toll. I don't know what postpartum feels like. I'm not here to talk bad on my children's mother, because I don't know what postpartum feels like. I don't know what women have to deal with internally when it comes to hormones. I don't know, right? I can only be there to support, right? But also having to navigate my own life, right? My own life traumas and my own life experiences. I was showing up for myself, but also trying to show up for my kid's mother as well. That turned out to be toxic. There was a lot of insecurities involved, of course, with her thinking I'm dealing with other women when I really wasn't. I was really just a stay-at-home dad, living a private life. And that's all I cared about, was just being home, running my business, and making sure my kids were taken care of. That got toxic to the point where I wasn't going to bring this up, but I was actually physically abused, and I could have pressed charges. See, this is the thing that men don't come out and talk about. We're told to shut the up, right? And not talk about it. But I was actually physically abused, which I actually have on video, right? Because here's the thing about domestic disputes, whether it's the male or the female. Typically, if the male is causing some type of force or inflicting any type of physical suffering or injury on a woman or a female, the cops get called. No matter if you have bruises, marks, whatever, the man gets locked up. He gets put into custody. I could have been that person and said, you know what? This is physical assault. I could call the police.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't know I was on mute. So pretty much Christian is defending himself. Now, I gotta agree with him on this. Y'all, or not everybody, but some people out there in the universe think men is not supposed to say nothing. It's actually not true. This man should get on here and say whatever it is he feels. He's a person. And I would say to constantly be, having somebody say this and that, say what it is you think or what you, what you feel. Now, with regards to his child support case, there is more information on what's going on. And Evelyn said that he missed court. Now that was a lie because I actually looked it up. And then I thought about it. I said, miss court. You can't miss court. He would have a warrant for his arrest. So that's why I ended up looking it up. But that was a total lie. And we're going to talk about it because like I went and got the real documents. He did not miss court. So we want to talk about what's true and not just make SHIT up. He did not miss court. Now, with regards to his daughters or his son's mother. Now, when I first saw this post, y'all know, I was like, wait a minute, he owed child support. And that is why it's so important to just, if you can, go get the information. That's not true either. So let's get into what she had to say.
Stop ignoring the fact that you owe child support. Stop pretending like, oh, life is so grand and we're rich and we have all this money and we're just living our best lives and we don't care what we're doing to everybody else.
Okay. So that's a lie too, y'all. He don't owe child support. And let me kind of break it down for you. In order for you to owe child support, it has to be established. So I don't know with regards to what maybe if he owed something before. I didn't see that. But this is what happens with child support. It has to be established. Now, what he said was he mentioned something about she tries to get him charged with abandonment. It looks like he was probably never adjudicated the father. And maybe she didn't understand or know that in order for somebody to receive, the abandonment charges and all of that, for somebody to pay child support, they have to be adjudicated the father. See, when you're in a relationship with your boyfriend, they're not necessarily adjudicated the father. There's two ways that they can do it. They can sign off on paperwork that say that they believe they're the father. If they don't, they can say they want to do a DNA test. So he said that he wanted to do a DNA test. So when he said that, I was like, how are you doing a DNA test if you're paying child support? So I'm not sure why she's saying that. And it kind of goes into the part with, okay, did Evelyn get this woman and have her come out and do this live? Because some of the stuff she's saying is not true. It's just not. And I'm not on either side. I'm saying it because I looked the information up. In order for somebody to owe, they have to be adjudicated the father. So I'm not sure how he would have owed if he wasn't adjudicated. Because if you go back and look at the documents and, what he did say, and I know this part is true too, in the state of Georgia, they do something called like a worksheet or something. So basically what they do, they get the mom's income, they get the father's income. And I just noticed because I've watched child support court here, just on the internet, and they do it, so they do a worksheet. So I know that part is right. What ends up happening is both people have to send the income in and they come up with an amount based on their income. Now, what he did say is he said it took long because she never sent her information in. Now, that part is true because in some states, they don't need the mother's income. They'll ask the mother, but they do not need the mother's income to be able to come up with an amount for child support. In Georgia, the mother has to provide her income. In a lot of other states, they don't need the mother's income. Like they will come up with a child support order minus whatever. They don't even need the mother's income. But here in Georgia, it is very different. And like I said, y'all, I have the receipts on that. I'm not just speaking because because I'm I need you to pay your child support now. If you owe child support, I need you to pay it. But it seems like Evelyn had something to do with digging up his baby mama, because again, when I looked up the information, I said, this don't make sense, because how is he where's the old child support? And also, just so y'all know, I don't know where y'all live, but in Georgia, you go to jail. So I was just curious as to how he owed all of this money on child support, and then he was on probation. So it just didn't make sense. So it seems like some of the stuff that the baby mama is saying is not 100% true. And what I find is when people lie, I just can't believe them. So I don't know what part about what she's saying is true at all, because she's lying about some stuff. So did Evelyn go and find this woman and get her to actually, say that, he did all of these things? I don't know. I'm not saying that he's a saint, but also too, let's get into this before I end the video. Okay, let's get into this. So if y'all can see here, it kind of clicked off fast, but I'll show y'all later on today when I do my live at 6:45. He posted I think it was a Venmo receipt where he had, I guess he had been sending her $2,000 a month. So it seems like he did not have an order with the court. And this is what he's trying to get, because he'll have a child support order. And then he would have maybe a visitation schedule. But apparently he was sending her $2,000. We're going to get more into that at 6:45. But like I said, I just wanted to jump on here and give y'all this. And I will see y'all tonight at 6:45.
Hit that bell, 'cause the tea don't stop.